I am the writer of Senseless. That role has involved working with the dramaturg Steve Waters, who is a senior lecturer in scriptwriting at UEA, to come up with a story for a play, which we've then developed with Guildhall Live Events.
My role on the project has been as creative director for the Guildhall Live Events team, which has predominantly meant that I've been liaising between the creative writer, James, and our technical team and production team.
So Senseless is a project that tells the story of a couple called Adam and Eve, who meet in 5 years' time on dating apps during a lockdown for a digital pandemic, which is caused by a computer virus that if you catch, your system will shut down, you will lose all of your ability to create, and gradually you will lose your senses.
The scale of this project has thrown up several challenges, mostly to do with COVID and the way that we've had to adapt to the pandemic around social interaction, human relationships, the use of technology, the advantages of the communicative tools that we have at our disposal, but also the limitations of those tools that makes what we're talking about in Senseless really sort of pertinent and important story for now.
The play wouldn't have been written without 2021 happening. I think it is a response to how theatre closures have affected people's creativity. It's a response to a virus. I would never have written this play had COVID not happened, because a virus wouldn't be rattling around my consciousness.
Having a sensibility for your audience and the mechanisms by which they are going to receive and therefore interpret the work that you make. So how do we produce things that works for both an auditorium audience but also for a broadcast audience?
I've had to take into account is that notion of making sure the tech serves the story and that the tech is integral to the plot. So within this play, it enables the two characters to meet, it enables them to date, and ultimately leads to their demise as a couple. So it's making sure the tech is part of the plot, enabling the story, causing conflict within the story.
This is fundamentally a process about exploring new tools and processes in that form. But then James has been super open and collaborative in the way that he would provide us with materials. We would go back to him with suggestions and ideas.
We rehearsed it in a room for a week, as we regularly would, but when we're filming this now, I'm in the process of kind of overseeing the tech and almost writing in light and writing in sound and writing in AR and VR. So that feels new and novel, because I haven't had to do that with a play before, working with an elaborate set that's both literal and digital.
The creative challenges have been probably the most exciting part of the project, and I think where most of the kind of fun thinking has happened.
I hope that it gets to tour and lots of people get to see it, because I think it will speak to lots of the concerns about how people's relationships have been affected by a pandemic, but also living digitally throughout the COVID lockdowns.